Hey everybody, I am Roy Cannaday. I do video editing and live stream production here at the Dice Tower, and this is my Q&A. So thank you for joining in, and make sure to get some questions ready for me below. It'd be awesome to talk with you. Feel free to ask anything about behind the scenes stuff and different stuff. We're currently coming back from a break that we've been having here. We had the awesome Summer Spectacular. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed that. It was a lot of fun putting everything together and having guests come down, and it was a blast doing that. And then we had a little bit of a break, but now we're going to be getting back into it, hitting everything super hard, prepping for upcoming weeks and lots of content coming up. But yeah, super awesome. Everybody let me know what questions would work for you guys. Had a good weekend. Actually had Chris, Mike, and Wendy over to have tacos and watch Loki the other day, so that was a lot of fun. But yeah, what do you guys think? Marvel shows, interesting stuff. No spoilers though, no spoilers. There's plenty of people that haven't watched anything. Let's see here. Yeah, there's lots of people in chat. Hey everybody, everybody's saying good morning, and they're glad that it's Friday and that everybody's stoked here and there. Oh wow, here we go. Steve asks, how excited are you about the Thanos Marvel Champions expansion? I'm really excited about it. I played through the Guardians of the Galaxy one several times and did my review of that, but I've gone back to it a little bit, but I haven't played it a ton. I'd love to go through the Guardians of the Galaxy with more of the characters, but now that this Thanos one is coming out as well, man, the Guardians of the Galaxy one was hard. I can't imagine how difficult this Thanos one is going to be. It's going to be kind of insane, but it'll be cool to see all of those characters. And I mean, I'm sure Mike's excited about Adam Warlock, even though he doesn't play the game, but it's an inside joke meme thing. But yeah, Adam Warlock. But it'll be cool to have more characters, more stuff. It'll be interesting to see how they tie all the Infinity Stones into it, because I'm sure that will be a part of it somehow. But yeah, let's see, what else is there? Everybody's saying all sorts of different stuff. I mean, I guess we'll add this here. So how is the work on your Space 4X game going? We should have more to announce and show off next month. Yes, so, but yeah, definitely lots of work still going on behind the scenes, lots of stuff in progress. I'm getting to the point where I had a prototype that I was using on Tabletop Simulator with to show off the game a whole lot, and now I'm working on the process of like upgrading the art in that so I can still teach that to people with more of what the final game looks like. But I'm really excited to hopefully demo it at some upcoming events and things like that, and then hopefully be announcing a actual launch date for the crowdfunding super soon. So that'll be really exciting. Oh, and the next person asks, when's the Kickstarter for Last Light coming? This isn't the Last Light Q&A, but I will answer a few questions about it. Yeah, it is still being determined a little bit. We want to make sure all of our ducks are in a row. Like, we're not trying to halfway do any of this. We're trying to make sure everything is perfect for this game. And I'm really excited about when it comes out. But I think we'll be announcing the dates for the Kickstarter next month. But yeah, should be super awesome. Wow, there's a lot of questions about that. Okay. What is this? As a fan favorite of the Dice Tower, do you ever have to deal with the pettiness or jealousy of the popularity of your colleagues, from your colleagues? I don't think that's the case most of the time. Most of the time, nobody thinks I'm that popular, honestly. Mike's the one that gets all the love. Mike's the most popular one. Everybody knows that, and everybody loves Mike, especially all of his catchphrases. I mean, I'm pretty sure he has like branded t-shirts with all sorts of different catchphrases and things on it, like personal affront and things like that, you know. Oh, wow. Good morning. What's the best game you have played in 2021? 2021. I mean, what's the best game for this year so far. I don't know how it's all going to shape out. We normally do top 10 lists at the end of the year, and we all dig super deep into like what we really enjoyed for the year. I know one that's really high at the top of my list right now is Destinies. It's like a cool app-driven game that it's kind of different because it gives me like a vibe of Mansions of Madness, but it's completely not cooperative. So you're not working together at all. You're like running around this map and exploring and trying to complete your own personal quests. And with the other players, those quests kind of like cross paths, so you're kind of like racing each other to these different locations and trying to uncover clues of what you're supposed to be doing. And I really enjoy the thematics of the game and the way it just kind of all comes together. It's got like this medieval but slightly like mystical vibe to it. I've really enjoyed that game so far. I don't know where it's going to rank in my top 10 of the year. There's still a bit of the year left, and normally all the really big games always come out towards the end, so it'll be exciting to see what other awesome games. But I've really enjoyed Destinies. I know Chris has played through like all of it. I've played through a bunch of it, and one of these days I'll beat Chris in it, but probably not today. Nice. Tacos and Loki, great combo there. Yeah, me and Chris and his wife Wendy were talking about like, oh, what should we do for food and all that stuff, and they mentioned tacos, and I was like, done. So like we had all the fixins. We had like everything. It was too much food, but but it was still really good. I love homemade make your own tacos is like one of my favorite things to eat. Can chat also be invited to Loki and tacos? Sure, I actually have a lot of leftovers because like I said, we made too much food, so come on over. Which upgrades are you working on now? I'm not exactly sure what you mean by upgrades. Is it like upgrades to like my own games? Because I do like to enjoy like making dice or making different like things. I've made like little click wheels with hero clicks for Marvel Champions, and where Tom will go out and buy a ton of awesome stuff from Etsy and get all this really cool stuff to upgrade the Dice Tower library. I don't even know if it's like fully upgrading the game. I just like to think of interesting and unique ways to upgrade a game that hasn't been done before. I don't know if it's just to like make those things and then like show them to the community and be like, oh, check out this cool thing I made. It's a click wheel, or oh, it's this crazy dice or whatever. But I have like no interest in really like trying to mass produce those sort of things. It's more of just like a fun, interesting way to, an extension of the board game hobby, finding interesting ways to upgrade my games, but they're always very DIY, I guess, as opposed to like going and buying something. Have you got Drax to the table yet? Thoughts? I've played Drax several times, and I am planning on reviewing that deck super soon. By now, it might end up being reviewed the same time or around the same time as the new Agent Venom deck. But things have just been so slammed, especially with the Summer Spectacular, that I haven't had time to do my own reviews too much prepping and getting everything ready and making sure all the stuff is in place. I definitely pull a whole bunch of strings behind the scenes and try to like make sure things are where they're supposed to be, and all the videos are going up for you guys, so hopefully you guys are enjoying that. Oh, nice. I just played Aquatica for the first time 2 days ago, and I love it. Roy, have you played it before? I love Aquatica. Aquatica is awesome. I really enjoy, I enjoy the hand management system of like the actions in that game. I like that you can upgrade those. I really enjoy the way that the cards in the game, it's like this ocean themed game that's all about like getting these cards and winning the cards over in different ways, but then you all have all these things that you're trying to combo to slide these cards up in your little player board, and you get different abilities as you slide them up. I really enjoyed Aquatica, and it's a Dice Tower Essentials game, and it actually, I mean, I used to really love Sheriff of Nottingham, and I enjoy it a lot, but I've played that game a ton. Aquatica might be my current favorite Dice Tower Essentials game, so if you haven't played it, you definitely should check out Aquatica, because it's amazing. If you like that, it's not a deck building game at all, but it gives me sort of that same feel of how you manipulate these cards. Really fun game. Interesting. Which was your first tattoo, and what is the story for the design? So I had like a nautical star on my shoulder. I know it's like very cliche to have that or whatever, but I don't know. I was really into like punk music and pop punk, and like the nautical stars and things like that were a big part of that, and of course like compass and sailing and stuff like that. But yeah, I just saw it and I really like the way that they look, and so I decided to get that as my first tattoo. It wasn't anything too crazy or extravagant. It was like on my shoulder. But from there, I ended up getting a lot more tattoos. I got most of my tattoos back when I was playing a lot of music and bands and things like that back in the day. Aquatica rocks. I agree. What? Hey, Roy. Missed you during the summer spectacular. Do you have any videos coming up? You missed me. I was running like the whole thing. Like I was behind the screen over there, like running the stuff. So I'm sorry that you missed me. Do note that when you don't see me, I'm still back there pulling all the levers and all of the knobs, and there was a lot of interesting stuff that had to go on in the production there. There was a lot of videos that are like, we have to have a ton of videos queued and like have everything just right to press the button. And hopefully, I mean, there were a few hiccups and glitches here and there, but hopefully enough of it like went off super well. We just switched over to a new, we got a like MacBook that we're running all of the stuff on there, and we're trying to use it as like our dedicated streaming device. So it was slightly different from the device we were using before. So I was the one that felt the most comfortable to run all of that stuff. So I was mostly behind the scenes, making sure everything was running and working there. But everybody put a ton of work in, and you know, I was in some of the videos. I got to play that farm game, Farm Shop. It's over there. And I was at the end of stuff and in some of the party games and things like that. But yeah, definitely a lot of fun. Do you know what's coming after War Machine, or any guesses? I know that there was a ton of leaks for Marvel Champions, and I'm not sure which leaks have actually come out yet. So I know right around the same time there was Nebula, and that's been announced now. Then there's War Machine, and that just got announced yesterday. So I'm really excited about that. It looks really interesting, like with all these ammo counters and things like that. And I know that there was supposed to be Valkyrie. I think Valkyrie was announced, was it? I don't know. Anyway, there was a whole bunch of leaks. I'm kind of excited to get past the leaks, because those leaks have been out for like so long, like since like April, like around like the beginning of April, like is when some of that stuff leaked. And then there was actually like a paper list of those leaks even before that. That stuff has been released for like this entire year has basically been leaked for Marvel Champions. So, but I am excited to when they start announcing even new stuff, and I'm just excited to get that stuff in and play it, the stuff that's came out. It's crazy how they keep innovating and changing up stuff with the game. I really enjoy it a lot. Let's see. Oh, nice. Hey Roy, I think I remember you saying that Lord of the Rings is your favorite IP. Have you read any further into the history of Middle-earth? I have listened to the audiobook of the Silmarillion. I tried to read it several times, but with all of the crazy names and how it jumps around so much, it was just easier for me to listen to it as an audiobook so that someone could read those crazy names to me. Yeah, I like a lot of the Lord of the Rings stuff. I haven't read any of like the super offshoot books or anything like that in Middle-earth. I really enjoy a lot of the Lord of the Rings games. War of the Ring is like one of my favorite games of all time. I really like the way it adds a lot of stuff to the books. I played a lot of the old school like TSR War of the Ring, like the one with the paper mat and chits and stuff with my dad growing up, and that was a lot of fun. So having the newer Ares one is really awesome, and I play that as well. They're very different games. And I've enjoyed the Lord of the Rings Living card game. Was a lot of fun, even though I couldn't keep up with it. Super hard to keep up with just because there's so many things that came out with that game. I really enjoy Journeys in Middle-earth, still is really good, and I'm trying to see if I can talk Chris and Wendy into starting a Journeys in Middle-earth campaign where we go through all this stuff, because I know they really enjoy the game, having played it a lot at Meepleville back when they were in Vegas, but they didn't own a copy, so it's like hard when you're at like an event. So during Chris's Q&A, you should be like, Chris, play Journeys of Middle-earth with Roy, because that would be awesome. Do your tastes align more with Z or Mike? I would probably say Mike overall. I think we have more games in our top like 10 that like correspond. I know he has like Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea. Me and Mike both have a love for like really gigantic, like aesthetically pleasing games that are out on the table. I know that Mike really enjoys like the different systems that go on in those games, and I enjoy that too. But I also really enjoy like I don't know, there's a lot of things that he enjoys that I enjoy as well in different avenues. I would say that, oh, he doesn't care about the theme, but he really does care about the theme. He also wants it to look cute with woodland creatures. But I'm down with that too. But yeah, there's a lot of games that me and Z like as well, so it's not like, you know, there's a lot of cool games out there that we all like. It's really awesome when we find games that we all really enjoy. Hi, Roy, can you share more about your time in bands and music? So I played in a couple different bands. Nothing was ever that big. I played bass guitar a lot. I've played guitar. I had like a little solo project for a while where I played acoustic and sang. That was fun. I played a few shows here and there, like at like a bar and like at a church and different things like that. And then I've had a couple different bands that I've been a part of. And we never did anything really big. I mean, we put a little bit of music out there on iTunes back in the day. I'm sure it's not there anymore because iTunes makes you continue to pay for stuff to be able to, not pay, but they continue to like make you do stuff to keep that stuff on their platform. And all of that is long gone. But yeah, it was mostly alternative music, post-hardcore, screamo type stuff. I did screaming vocals in the last band that I was in. So, you know, hardcore. Dun, dun, dun. How does one find out more information about becoming a Dice Tower contributor? Email tomvassal@gmail.com. Normally with a, like, if you're trying to do like board game breakfast or something along those lines, you would want to basically have like a concept video, like do a video of what your contributor clip would look like. And then you would take that, put it in a Google Drive or Dropbox, send that link to Tom would probably be like the best way to do it. This is not official, this is just my guess of how to do it. But yeah, it's always, and he'll look at it and be like, okay, how does this fit in with the other videos we have? Having something that's unique is probably really good too. But yeah, so that would be how to try to go about that, and Tom will lead you from there, you know. Oh man, what was your favorite part about the Summer Spectacular? Honestly, my favorite part about the Summer Spectacular is having people come in and being able to hang out with those people. I always love hanging out with Eric. He's always a blast. He's always so professional. He's always really funny. I love Eric Summer, and it just stinks he's like up in Connecticut, and we do stuff with him at events and things like that, but it'd be really cool if we could do things with him more often. So when we get an opportunity to hang out with Eric, it's always a blast. And then hanging out with Jenny and Blake was a ton of fun too. It's just really cool to have people that you interact with online or that you see their content that they make and then being able to hang out with them. Because like Blake, I met him during the werewolf thing that Tom does. And then he started doing stuff for Favorite Game Friday, and then that morphed into him doing some reviews for the channel as well. So it's really cool to be able to meet him in person and be able to hang out, and really cool guy. And then Jenny's been doing stuff. She's been down here for the Spring Spectacular as well, and it's cool to see Jenny again. Just being able to hang out, and it's like the same thing I like at conventions. It's like hanging out with the people, building relationships with those people, and enjoying that time. It's just really fun. But as far as like my favorite part, as far as like a video win, there was a part during the that party game. I think it was like 25 words or something, 25 words or less. And there was an inside joke that Chris did that if you go back and listen to the recording, like I couldn't help but just die laughing. It doesn't even make any sense. It's just crazy, weird inside jokes we have here in the studio is always a blast. Oh, what Marvel character do you wish was in Marvel Champions? It's got to be an X-Men, right? I'm wearing like the X-Men shirt here. Let's see. I would love to see, I know it's cliche, but I would love to see Wolverine in the game. I'd love to see Gambit in the game. Oh man, there's so many good ones. But yeah, there's a ton of those like old school X-Men characters. Rogue would be awesome. It'd be really cool to see how they could implement a lot of the X-Men characters. I was listening at the designers. I'm like, you should make another like core set big box that's X-Men. Make it happen, because that'd be another great entry point to the game. What marble in Shoots and Marbles is your favorite? Oh man. Probably, I don't know. There's something about Rainbow Unicorn, the fact that it's like a small marble, that I really enjoy, just because like it always feels like the underdog, but then there's a lot of people cheering for it, so it always makes me happy. And then it'll get stuck or it'll get like messed up, but then sometimes it'll win. That running the Shoots and Marbles is a crazy, insane production. Half the time I'm not even thinking about who's winning or losing. I'm just like, switch, camera, go, here, there. Okay, they're back at the top, this, that. So it's hard for me to even focus on who's the winner or who's the loser. It's more like, where's the camera looking right now? But still a lot of fun. Hey Roy, I appreciate your positive energy. Keep it up. I'm just being me, but yeah, I definitely like to have fun, and I mean, it's fun to talk about board games, and being positive is a way to make things happen, you know, make it happen. Oh wow, what is your favorite storytelling mechanism in board games? There are so many really good mechanisms that they've used to do that. I really enjoy the storybook that they have in like in Sleeping Gods and in Tales of the Arabian Nights. That's really fun, having someone else read the story out and then you make those choices. I really enjoy, even though the game itself isn't too crazy, I really enjoy the story stuff in the Fallout board game. They use an interesting system where you have like a deck of cards and like things can be shuffled into different decks for the different locations and things can kind of like branch out from the story. I really like the card mechanisms and the story mechanisms in that. And I really enjoy the story stuff that's in a lot of these app games. The stories in Mansions of Madness are good. I mean, just by going around to locations and looking up stuff, it's got like a little epilogue it reads at the beginning, or prologue, I guess. Epilogue would be at the prologue that it reads at the beginning of the scenarios and things like that. And when you win at the end, it reads that stuff out to you. I think one that's going to be really exciting is going to be Vanguard from Awakened Realms. When they had the app going, it's really cool, like all the dialogue with the sci-fi sounds and all that stuff is really cool as well. And I really enjoyed Destinies also, which I talked about as a story building game. Roy, you look thinner. Are you not eating pizza? I occasionally eat pizza. A lot of it is more running and working out and stuff like that, just trying to be more active. I had a job where I was working in a warehouse before I worked here, and coming to the Dice Tower, I sit behind a desk and edit all the time. So I've been trying to do like active lifestyle changes and dietary changes to like not go too hard on stuff, and just be a bit more active. And that's actually helped a lot. Thanks for doing this. What was your first job? What was your worst job? So my first job, I worked at Kroger's, which is like a grocery store on the East Coast. And I was a bagger. When I first started, I was like a cart attendant and bagger. So I'd push the carts and then help bag groceries. And then I got promoted to cashier, if like that's a promotion. They wanted to promote me to like the office area, but it was funny. The managers called me into the office to tell me that they were getting calls from customers about how great of a cashier I was because I was always cheerful and friendly and like made people that came through the line like be excited. And I would just do silly stuff, like an old lady would be coming like buying a thing of wine, and then I'd like attempt to card her, and she'd be like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "No, they tell me that like anybody that looks like they're in there like 24 or whatever has to be carded," and that would just like make their day. So they called me into the office to tell me that they were getting calls that that they really enjoyed me as a cashier, and they had never had that ever while with any of their employees before. And then I left the job. So no, it wasn't right after that, but you know, I like to, whatever job I'm in, I'm not even going to talk about like what's my worst job, because I feel like you do a job and you should try to do it the best of your ability no matter what. Like even if you don't like the job, you can figure out ways to make the job better and try to make the job better for those people around you. And you should probably try to work hard no matter where you are. And I mean, there's lots of opportunities no matter what your job is or what your profession is or what your goals are in life to try to improve, work hard, make things happen for yourself and for those around you, you know? I mean, if you're a positive influence to people, it can kind of be infectious to those around you. So make things happen. Who is Mike? I don't know. Oh, is it too quiet?
I think it got bumped.
Oh, it fell down. I don't know. Apparently Mike is the guy who just opened the door. No. Oh, branded t-shirts. I'm in. That would be hilarious. Let's see. Eclipse or Twilight Imperium? Last Light. No, I actually like both of those games a ton. I really enjoy both of them. They're both quite long. Eclipse can be a little bit shorter depending, but it really depends on how much AP the players have that you're playing with. I love the epic scale and scope of 4X games. I just wish it was easier to get them to the table, but they're worth it when you do. So if you can make a game day that's planned around playing Twilight Imperium or planned around playing Eclipse, man, I really need to try to like play the new Eclipse during the retreat. Somebody play the new Eclipse with me during the retreat. But yes, lots of awesome stuff there. I love 4X games. Where's a good question here? It's so funny because I always do these so slow that like stuff like reverts back to things that I was talking about before. I love the energy that you bring to videos. Where does it come from? G Fuel. Sponsored. No, I'm just kidding. No. I mean, I just try to stay positive and make things happen, you know. Make it happen. Clara says, I need to give Destinies a try. Yeah, I think you definitely should, especially since I know you like role-playing games and things like that. It kind of feels a little bit like that niche. It's not role-playing at all, but if you enjoy story and you enjoy theme, definitely try Destinies. And I mean, there's some people that are naysayers on the whole app-assisted thing, but I really enjoy how that like makes setup so easy for games. You can just jump into it and make it happen. And this one's unique because it's competitive, so you're kind of racing to get things done throughout this story. People talking about Aquatica some more. Good morning. Would you consider playing a game of Blood on the Clock Tower with the Dice Tower group? Maybe at some point. I haven't been doing as much like remote gaming, especially since we've started like being able to do more stuff here at work. I would love to do, it would be cool to have something like that like at a Dice Tower con or retreat or something like that to join in with. But I know those games take quite a while. I wonder what the play time is on Blood on the Clock Tower. I think it's supposed to be more epic of a social deduction game, but I would like to play it at least to know, because I really enjoy social deduction games. It'd be really cool to see how it does stuff different. But yes. Mike in the chat. What? Okay. Great Dave says, if you could do a targeted mind erase to be able to re-experience a book, movie, or game, or show the first time again, what would it be? I do know that I would mind erase to replay the first Time stories, because that was really enjoyable. The first experience with Time stories. I guess you would have to like mind erase all escape room board games to make that work, because like when Time Stories first came out, it felt so innovative and fresh, and like the experience of doing that together with my game group was a blast. And the novelty kind of wore off after a while after playing through several more of them, but it was really enjoyable at the time. As far as like books and movies and TV shows, I don't know. I kind of like my memories. I don't know what repercussions would happen from mind erasing, so I'd like to keep my neurons intact if I could. Roy played the last game, the dice throwing game. Yes, tumbling dice, and we also played Time's Up as well. Oh, Mike would love this too, even though he doesn't play Marvel Champions. Howard the Duck Marvel Champions set. That would be hilarious and awesome. Tim Jeanette asks, the Metal Meeple, Hey Roy, I'm about to start Kingdom Death Monster finally. Have you played it? So I haven't played Kingdom Death Monster. I know we had a copy come in. I should probably talk to Tom about like putting that together, at least some of it together, so we could actually get a little bit of that played. Because I actually enjoy putting like model sets together when I actually have the time. I know Tom hates it, but I love that hobby aspect of stuff. And I've heard that Kingdom Death Monster, like the gameplay is good from some people. And I know there's people out there that just love it. So it'll be interesting to play, but I have not played it yet. I know it can be dark at points, so I don't know that I'd want to play a campaign of it, but I'd like to try it just to know the mechanisms, just since it's like a big game that people know about. Dun, 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 dun. Roy, are you looking forward to Western Legends Blood Money? I'm just looking forward to more Western Legends in general. I really enjoy that game, and I haven't played it that much. So it's really high on like my top games, and I really like it, but I need to play it more. That's another one that I'd love for someone that knows the game really well to bring out at a Dice Tower event or retreat. Maybe we could play with expansions and stuff like that. I enjoy games that give you that feeling of being able to play the game the way you want to, sort of sandboxy and things like that. I enjoy Zaya, where you can run around and get all the different stuff and kind of like be opportunistic as you play the game. I feel like Western Legends has sort of like that same sort of feel, so I really enjoy it. I'm surprised Dune isn't your favorite IP. I like Dune a lot. It's pretty enjoyable, but I'm not as deep into the Dune IP. I love the movies. I love the books, but I haven't read all of the books and things like that. But I do enjoy it, and I kind of grew up with it. My dad had me watch the movies and played the original Dune board game a lot. We played it with our friend group back in the day, and that was a lot of fun. So I guess Dune movie quotes are kind of ingrained into like our family with my dad. He would always quote stuff from the movie and stuff like that. So a lot of that stuff is kind of like passed down generation to generation. More Last Light questions. More information coming next month. Are you getting Battle of the Five Armies? Are you talking about the board game? I already have the board game for Battles of the Five Armies. I really enjoy it. I think it's good. I feel like the combat system is a little bit more finicky than in War of the Ring, and there's a little bit of like almost like terrain bonus sort of stuff. So it's a little bit harder for me to remember that stuff. So every time I play it, I have to like refresh myself on that stuff. I always love the dice action system that's in the game. But I normally, if I'm going to play Battle of the Five Armies or War of the Ring, I know War of the Ring takes longer, but I still end up going with War of the Ring just because I really enjoy that game. But both are really fun. I would love to play Battle of the Five Armies, then play, Hunt for the Ring, and then play War of the Ring. So all of the different Ares games kind of in that line. And I think Hunt for the Ring actually has ways to like adjust what happens in War of the Ring after you play it, if you play with a certain thing. So it'd be really cool to like have those go back to back to back. But that would be quite a long day. Someday. What gaming themes do you find it the hardest to get into? I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of themes. I am a very much like typical nerd when it comes to gaming things. I love sci-fi and space. I love fantasy. I enjoy the Lovecraftian horror type stuff. The stuff that probably is a little bit more hard for me to get into would probably be like stuff that's like really cutesy stuff or whatever. I know they have like tons of unicorn games and things like that, which I mean are fine, and I mean I'll play them, but that's not like something I would go to normally. But honestly, if the mechanics are good, I would play any theme and be super excited about it. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see. Looking forward to the next Journeys in Middle-earth campaign coming this fall. We've played through everything there is at least once. Yeah, that's why I feel like I saw that expansion coming out. That's why I was like, I need to play more of this game, because I really enjoy the system. I really enjoy Mansions of Madness, and it has a lot of that feel, and I really want to see what they're doing inside of it. But the fact that it's like not one-shots, that it's actually a campaign, makes it way harder to get to the table. Like, I played D&D for years and I really enjoyed it. But one of the reasons that I play board games now is because in D&D you have to get the same group of people back to the table, and it's hard to get those people back to the table all the time. With board games, you can throw them out on the table and play them with anybody. You just teach them the game and they don't have to have any prior knowledge. You can teach them the game and you can just go ahead and play and you're off to the races. And with all of these campaign games that are coming out, it kind of brings it back to like, now you're doing a campaign that you have to have the same group of people back together with all the time and end up running through the thing. So it ends up having that like barrier of entry back in. And the fact that we have so many games and we play so many new things all the time, it makes it a bit harder to get through a campaign, especially where it's like you got to play the same game over and over and over again. And sometimes I almost feel like if I'm going to do that, if I'm going to dedicate to that, why wouldn't I just go back to D&D, you know, and make it more open world and make it so that you're making a cooperative story together as opposed to playing a board game. So especially when I moved straight from D&D to cooperative games, like I had no interest in Descent and no interest in any of these campaign games because I'm like, if I'm going to spend the time, I just play a role-playing game. Like, what? But now these days I do enjoy stuff. I really enjoyed Sleeping Gods. I've really enjoyed a lot of the, I played Clank Legacy, that was a blast. I played through Pandemic Season 0, that was a blast. So it's cool to play these, and they're worth it when you play these long games, but it just makes it hard to get those games to the table. And the fear of starting a legacy game and not finishing it is kind of terrifying. So, and the fear of starting a campaign game and having all your stuff separate and then having to like start it back over and pull all that stuff back apart is a pain in the neck as well. But yes, I really want to play more Journeys in Middle-earth, and that new expansion looks amazing. Mike says, I can confirm, I like good games. Ha! I feel like I'm way back at this point. Put your music on Bandcamp. I think one of my songs is on Bandcamp. If you look up Strongholds to Ruin, that is one of my old bands where I was doing screaming vocals. So if you search for Strongholds to Ruin, you'll be able to find some of my old music. But yeah, we didn't do a whole lot. We only played a few shows with those guys. We did a lot of practicing, though. Wow, so many things. What do I want to say here? There's so many things. I feel like I'm so far behind. Wow. I don't think there is an answer to that. There's a bunch of repeat questions, too. I've gotten lost in the, like, which questions do I actually want to answer? Let's do this one. Which non-space themed do you wish there was more in gaming? What theme do I wish there was more of? What would be interesting, like more unique? I've been really getting into a lot of like anime stuff. I've always enjoyed anime. I've enjoyed it more recently, and there are companies that make some good anime board games. I know that the Attack on Titan board game is really good. I would love to see more like deep, like maybe even narrative-driven anime board games. I don't think there's any like ones that feel like super thematic, which makes sense because I feel like a lot of the games that come out of Japan itself are like really small, super cute games, especially since the living situation, people have smaller places to live, so you need small games to be able to put in those places. But I would love to see some like Sleeping Gods style, like, speaking of not wanting to do a campaign, it would be crazy to have like these cool, like really story-driven anime-themed board games, since the animes themselves are very story-driven and very much about the progression of these characters as they evolve throughout time. And I would really enjoy to see more of those because there's a lot of anime out there. It's been actually really interesting that the anime scene here in Miami is a lot bigger than it was back in North Carolina, and I think maybe it's getting even bigger as time goes on. So that would be really cool. Oh goodness. So you have the day off to play Twilight Imperium 4 or ISS Vanguard. Which one are you playing? This is a hard question. The question is, am I teaching? Because if I'm teaching, it's probably going to be Twilight Imperium 4 because I know Twilight Imperium 4. If somebody knows the game really, really well, I'd probably play ISS Vanguard, and I'd really love to explore that system more. I would want to be more solid myself on like the rules of ISS Vanguard, because it has this whole cool shipbuilding phase where you're like figuring out which ship you're taking out on the missions and all the story stuff. But I also haven't played the final version of ISS Vanguard or seen what the final production even looks like. All the prototypes we've got are kind of like parts of the game, you know, so it'll be really cool to see how all that comes together. That's another one that's going to be very campaign driven, so it's going to be hard to get to the table, but I would love to dig into that story, just because the whole idea of Dyson spheres and ancient alien technology and all this stuff, and there's alien race like trying to reach out to you and get you to find more information, like the whole background of like space sci-fi that's very, I guess, scientific driven, but then at the same time has all of this weird woo mystical stuff in it too. Not really mystical, but you know what I mean. It seems very interesting sci-fi. Oh goodness. Playing TI4 for the first time this weekend. Any tips for first timers? So I don't know if it's on the TI4 Board Game Geek or if it's on the TI3 one, but there's this like wheel that basically has like the turns, like the different action cards you can select. And you can download that or print it out or have something to help you keep track of the turns or turn order. And then just use that to know who's passed and who hasn't passed and whose turn is next. Because in Twilight Imperium, the turns are not necessarily clockwise around the table. And knowing whose turn it is and knowing who needs to go next and trying to be on the ball of that can definitely help with the play time of the game. And also just like have everybody watch. I know that RTFM has a channel where he's in a video that he's done that kind of explains how to play the game. Have all of your players like watch his video first. That's what I normally do, is like, hey, check out Shay's video about how to play Twilight Imperium 4 before we get to play Twilight Imperium 4, and that normally helps out a little bit as well. And yeah, just enjoy it. You know, it's probably going to be really long your first game, but there's a lot of ways you can make the game faster once you kind of know what you're doing. Roy, Kroger's is nationwide. Just so you know, I was a part of their nationwide success. What else is going on here? Roy Cannaday, East Coast's finest cashier. Man, I talked about Kroger so long ago. I'm so far behind. Hey Roy, will you keep doing the Marvel Champions card pack reviews? I really want to. I really enjoy doing those, and those are kind of like my thing. I enjoy the game a lot, and I feel like I could talk about it too much. But yeah, I really enjoy those. I still need to do my Drax review, and I know that Agent Venom is coming super soon as well. I've already seen people getting the packs, so I'm guessing there's probably one of those packs floating around here somewhere that I need to get played. But yes, I want to continue to do some of those. A lot of me doing videos and reviews is all about time and how busy we are. I edit a lot of the other videos that go up on the channel, so it just depends on if I have time to actually make that happen. Z Garcia says, G Fuel! Z drinks G Fuel too, and that's why he's so positive also. Z's like, I hate you. But yeah, do make sure to check out everybody else's Q&A. Today as well. We're all going to be doing Q&As back to back. Tom had this idea of us all doing Q&As today, so it should be fun. A way to get to know the Dice Tower a little bit better. What are your favorite games to play with 4 other people? Let's see. I'm just going to name off games. I don't know if they're necessarily going to be my favorite, but the first ones that come to mind. I like Gizmos. Gizmos is an engine building game, which is a lot of fun, where you're being able to take these marbles and try to like build sets of marbles to build more things to help build your engine. You'll get a card that says, hey, if you get this color marble, you get to take a marble for free out of the top. And hey, if you build this kind of thing, you get to take a marble. So hey, now when I build a thing, I get to take a marble, and then I get to take one out of the top. And as the game progresses, you get into these crazy combos where it's like, I build this, and you're able to refill all of your stock of like the different energy marbles and things like that. That's a blast to play, and it's really quick. I love games that are like really short turns. Like even when you're doing all of that stuff, you're so far along in the game, you know how it works so well that you can easily do all of those picks and things like that real quick. Another one would be Dune Imperium. I love Dune Imperium right now. Dune Imperium is a blast to play. Worker placement with a little bit of deck building, but lots of, it's not really area control, but like you're trying to control these tracks of influence on these for the different guilds throughout Dune. And then you also have combats in the game that you're trying to win over based on your units. And I just really enjoy the way that game plays. That's another one that's great with 4 players. It'd be a little bit longer. Other 4-player games. I would not play Marvel Champions 4 players. I like that, honestly, either 2 players or solo, just because it takes quite a bit longer with 4, and I don't think that the payoff is quite there when you get into that high of a player count. I would do it for like an epic game with people that knew what they're doing, just so that way I'd play a bit faster. Let's see, what would be another good one with 4? Mansions of Madness is great with 4 players. I'm just gonna go down from like the top of my favorite games list. Another game that I like a lot, just because it's space themed, is Alien Frontiers. It is a dice placement game that kind of started the Kickstarter craze, but I still really enjoy Alien Frontiers because you're placing out the different dice in different areas and collecting resources, and you're trying to get the right combos of dice to area control the planet in the middle and win there. Is G Fuel just Jolt Coca-Cola branded? G Fuel is like this. I'm explaining G Fuel on a Q&A. It's like this energy drink powder that's very highly, like there's a lot of caffeine in it, but also there's a lot of vitamins and stuff as well. It's really big in like the YouTuber community and stuff like that. They do a lot of brand deals and sponsorships with the people. We always joked in the studio that we would have our own like branded G Fuel that is Dice Tower branded, and it'd be hilarious. It's like, oh man, if we could have our own like key lime flavor, that would be crazy. Yeah, G Fuel, reach out to us, make it happen. But yeah, I don't know. I just use it as like a productivity thing. People drink coffee in the morning to have energy throughout their day. I never stop drinking G Fuel, so I can just continue to produce and make things and work hard. So, oh wow. As a fan of Xayah, are you looking forward to seeing more of Arya? Would you also like to see more for Xayah? Do you think that the game has reached its conclusion? So I don't know if you know this, but I did like a lot of playtesting on the Xayah expansion. And normally I've done playtesting on some things, and sometimes you have a little bit of input. Like I know there's a card in Marvel Dice Masters that got nerfed because of some of the things I said when I was playtesting Marvel Dice Masters. But Xayah, I feel like I did a lot of stuff, especially like with the solo game. I ended up playing a ton, and they ended up upping the difficulty, and I actually helped like the way the cards work for the solo play. I made the graphic design for that, and you can actually see like I'm credited for graphic design in the rulebook, which is crazy because I'm not a graphic designer. But what was I going to say? But I did a lot of playtesting with a lot of the Xayah stuff and was able to help the guys. Like, we tweaked a ton of different stuff here and there, and it felt like the group of guys that worked on that had a lot of input with the way the game worked. With Ira and Cody were very like responsive to feedback, which was really cool. I would love to see more for Xayah. I actually talked to Cody. Man, it was a long time ago now, but it was like PAX Unplugged, I guess a couple years ago, being like, dude, you should do it like Xayah 2nd edition or something like that, and make it so it's a little bit like the turn structure is a little bit better so that people don't have such long turns, like make it a little bit more snappy, like you could do these really cool things. But he was really worried about people being upset about having to rebuy the game and things like that, and I'm like, it's the board game industry. People buy games all the time, you know. But yeah, I would love to see more for Zaya. I'm really excited about his upcoming game that's coming out, and hopefully it has more of like that same charm and feel of Zaya. It looks like you can upgrade your character in different ways and things like that, and that's one of my favorite things about Zaya is being able to play the game the way you want and being able to upgrade your ship. So if you're able to upgrade your character that feels like Zaya does, that would be amazing. But I think it might be campaign, which I said are hard to get to the table. So we'll see. We'll see. Are you getting a Stream Deck? I have multiple Stream Decks, so no. But yeah, I definitely have been using a Stream Deck for all the stuff. If you don't know, a Stream Deck is like it's a thing made by it's made by Stream Deck, I guess. But it has a whole bunch of buttons that you can press, and you can kind of program those buttons to do all sorts of different stuff. I'm not using one currently because I only have 3 scenes that I'm doing during this thing. But I programmed like everything in the Summer Spectacular, like that awards show that I did. Every single video was a different button on the Stream Deck, but there were so many that I had to have multiple pages that I would flip through and press the right button. And there were so many switches during that award show. It's kind of crazy, but it was a lot of fun. Did you always know you wanted to be a parent? I love my kids, Scotty and Violet. They are the best, and I think I kind of did because, like, I don't know. I always really enjoyed, as a kid, like, I know this is weird to say, like, playing with stuffed animals and stuff like that, but, like, I always wanted to have children, and I love my kids. They're super awesome, and they have been gone away. They've been at Disney for this past week while I've been getting stuff ready at the house, and it's going to be awesome to have them back, be able to do lots of different stuff with them, and I really enjoy hanging out with Scotty and Violet, and they like to play lots of board games. They probably like to play board games even more than I have recently. But yes, I feel like I've always known that I wanted to be a parent. Also, pineapple on pizza. Actually, I know this might be an anathema to some people. I don't mind Hawaiian pizza or pineapple pizza. I really enjoy it. And it's actually my son's favorite. So sometimes when we get pizza, he often asks for that, so we make it happen. And Tom bought pineapple pizza the other day here at the studio, and it was one of the first ones to be gone. So people can hate all they want. I do that. Question, Roy, what do you do for fun? I play board games, but I also do a lot of other things. I like to, I've been recently watching more anime. Playing with my kids is like one of the main things that I do for fun. Like just whatever they want to do. Like we go to the park, we go around to different places. I really enjoy like going to different shops like comic book stores or anime stores or going to the mall with them, or even just doing silly stuff like going to Five Below and picking out stuff with the kids is a lot of fun. So I really enjoy spending time with them doing that. Play board games with them, play board games here with the game group. So yeah, I mean, mostly just chill out stuff. I have been making resin dice for fun. So I've been like making silicone molds and making resin dice and trying to make weird swirled dice. I made some like resin ninja stars as well. So that's been pretty cool, just playing around with resin for fun as well. Figuring out ways to upgrade games, stuff like that, you know. Ron says, did Roy ask anybody his first impressions on the War Machine preview? Me and Ron like posted about the War Machine announcement like at the exact same time on Instagram. I thought it was hilarious. But yeah, I'm excited. It's very interesting how they keep trying to do unique stuff. War Machine's thing in the game is that he has all of these ammo tokens. He has a bunch of cards that are kind of going to spin those ammo tokens. But each time he flips to hero mode, he gets more ammo tokens. So I guess he's going to be a hero that you're going to want to flip down and back up a bunch to keep refilling your ammo tokens, unless there's a lot of ways to build them up super high. But a lot of his cards are kind of like, the more ammo tokens you spin, the better it gets. So it'll be pretty cool to see how that works. If you could build them way up and be like, da 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 da, and like blast everybody, that'd be really awesome. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it always turns out. It's always hard for me to tell all of the genius behind the deck until I actually get it in front of me and play with it. And then I'm like, wow, that's awesome. And they keep doing that. It's crazy. What do you like better, Sleeping Gods or Destinies? That's hard. That's hard to say. I really like Sleeping Gods a lot. I think it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy the story. I love the storybook. And I enjoy like the actions on a lot of the stuff, but getting the game out and playing it sometimes feels like a little bit of a burden almost, or a little bit of a barrier to entry, because like you're controlling a bunch of different characters, you're controlling all that stuff. Destiny's is like, you get your character, you get a little bit of an objective, it's app assisted, go, like head for the races or whatever, and still gives you lots of different story. But I feel like there's a lot more game in Sleeping Gods. I don't know. We'll figure that out by the end of the year. I'm not going to make a choice right now on which one I like more. I really like both of the games. And if you haven't played either of them, you probably should find an opportunity to play it, especially if you enjoy story in your games. And of course, my dad coming with the with the Dune quotes, and strangely thematic to what I was saying at the time, dropping his name and then him saying, "Even my name is a killing word," which is from the Dune movie, because he says Paul Madib and blows a hole in a thing. Anyway. Your dad sounds cool. Do you still get to play with him often? I mean, he lives in Georgia. Well, they're moving from Georgia to Virginia. They just moved. I guess they're fully moved now. But they live in Virginia, so I haven't gotten to play with them a ton. But whenever we have like family get-togethers, like for Thanksgiving or anything like that, we normally end up playing games together. When last time we went to Thanksgiving, I played through all of the Rise of the Red Skull campaign with my dad. He played Captain America, and I played Doctor Strange. I know you guys probably think that's easy mode, but it was a lot of fun playing together and showing him one of my favorite games. We've played tons of games throughout the year. We played role-playing games back in the day. We played a lot of different stuff. So the reason I'm super into games, you probably have to blame him, because he was into games in college and things like that. And he's coming to visit during the summer, so he was asking me, I guess it was maybe last night. Yeah, yesterday, he was asking me what we're going to be playing while he's here. So yeah, we play games when we're actually together, you know. So make it happen. Oh, and I see he's in the chat talking about some stuff here. Do you ever play any of the custom Marvel Champions content? If so, are there any favorites? I've seen a bunch of it, and a lot of it looks really cool. Like the first custom content that was coming out was kind of like interesting because the graphic design was very off. But I feel like everybody has like these templates now, and people are making custom content for Marvel Champions that basically looks like the real thing. And it's really cool. I haven't had an opportunity to play much of it. I've really like wished that I could have more of a chance. And I'm at the point, there's so many characters now that it's just kind of like, I need to play those as it is. I've played everybody that I have so far. I've played Drax. I just need to make a video for him. But they've been rolling out the content so much that I haven't had to go to that well. But after I've played it a bunch, there's been a few times where it's like, I should print some out. But the trouble of going through, cutting them all out with the sleeves and stuff like that, I would do it, trust me, but I haven't gotten to do it yet. I enjoy Clank Legacy, such a great game. I agree. It's definitely super awesome. I really enjoy it. Cool. Well, I think that I'm going to do something interesting here. I know I have tons and tons and tons of questions, but since I'm running out of time a little bit, I think today is Friday, so we have Favorite Game Friday today. So I think I'm going to do something a little bit more interesting here and do a little bit of a behind the scenes on Favorite Game Friday. So like this week's topic for Favorite Game Friday is going to be like upgrades to games. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a behind the scenes of Favorite Game Friday and record it during my Q&A, or record my part, because you know the entire community is a huge part of Favorite Game Friday. If you're interested in joining Favorite Game Friday, you can always like check out the videos. I have like a Google Drive in there, and it's basically open to the community, so anybody could be a part of it. But I'm going to record Favorite Game Friday while you're watching, and I need you to give me ideas for next week's Favorite Game Friday. Like give me topic ideas, because basically we talk about a different topic and everybody shares their favorite game in that topic. So, and you guys pick what's going to be the next topic for Favorite Game Friday here live in the chat, and I'll add that as part of my video, and you can see me record that part as well. So I'm going to go ahead and figure out what to do. So upgrades as a topic. I'm going to actually press record because I have an SD card in the camera. I actually have to start recording it. But yeah, so. All right, this is the stick and the thing that I do every time. I almost say the same thing all the time, so here we go. Hey everybody, this is Roy Cannaday, and this is Favorite Game Friday, where we have a group of contributors with completely different tastes in gaming, talking about their favorite game in the category of the week. This week we're talking all about game upgrades. Is there an awesome upgrade that you really like for a game, that you really enjoy? What's an upgrade that you've gotten and made a game better that you love? Make sure to leave in the comments down below your favorite board game upgrade, and let's get to all the contributors' clips. And then from there, like I'll normally record like my favorite upgrade. What would I do here? I have a whole bunch of Marvel Champions tokens here, but I'll have to take a picture of this as well, probably to add to it. But I'm going to go ahead and record that part too. My favorite upgrade is these awesome Marvel Champions tokens. I really enjoy the game Marvel Champions, and it's really cool to have awesome acrylic tokens to add to the game as you play it. All right, and then before I record the next part, I need to know what we're gonna do for our for the next week's episode, because I have to like have that mentally prepared. That was smooth. Yeah, I've been doing it for like 5 years. One take is all you need. Yeah, most of them are always one take. The camera's still recording too. Let's see. Next week's topic. What should it be? What should it be? What should it be? Fruit Salad Friday. Favorite campaign game. I think favorite campaign game has been done, but it may have been a while. We'll do it live, Cannaday. Oh, man. And the people are actually saying their favorite upgrade. How I change my voice to record. I think everybody kind of does that a little bit. They have like their professional voice that they're going to do. Oh, favorite surprise hits might be fun. A game that you were surprised by that you didn't think that you would like. Yeah, I think that'd be good. I think we'll go with surprised hits for next week for Favorite Game Friday. So hey, if you do want to join in, check the video that's going to be up later today, and there'll be a Google Drive link down below. We're going to do favorite surprised hits as the one here. So let's go ahead and record that part too. It's always awesome to think about the cool ways you can upgrade a game and to see everybody's favorite way to upgrade their board games. Make sure to leave in the comments below your favorite board game upgrade that you've gotten or an upgrade you've done to a board game. Make sure to check out our contributors from all around the internet. It's awesome to have people part of the Favorite Game Friday community here. It's awesome to have everybody join in. If you want to be a part of Favorite Game Friday, make sure to check out the Google Drive link down below. Next week, we're going to be talking all about games that were surprise hits. Is there a game that you didn't think you were going to like, but you ended up really enjoying the game? Make sure to put a video down in the Google Drive link down below, and it'll be awesome to have you be a part of Favorite Game Friday. So until next time, I'll see you then. And that's it, you know, making it happen. But yeah, well, this has been pretty fun. I'm definitely excited for you guys to all check out. Actually, let me stop the recording. So. Don't want to have to spend more footage than I had to. No script, Roy. I have been doing it for like literally 5 years. So it's kind of like, so that your brain kind of works where like, it's all like autopilot at this point. Like I don't even have to think about it too much. It's like, okay, what's the topic? What am I gonna say? I don't know. I try to be a little bit nice about what I say about the topic a little bit and think about that sometimes. Sometimes it'd be, I don't know, depending on what it is, be like, oh yeah, I don't know. Find a way to make it happen. But yeah, but the link is not going to be in this video if anybody's wondering. It's going to be in the actual Favorite Game Friday video that you have to go to. I could leave a link to the Favorite Game Friday video in this, but we'll see. It's not edited yet. That's what I'm going to do after this, is go edit that and finish up editing a few reviews that Tom has done to make it happen. But yeah. Everybody's apparently impressed with my one-take skills, which I think is funny.
Tom does like everything in one take, which is shocking. And I've actually had him re-record something, and he said it almost the exact same way when he redid the take. So that's always been hilarious. But yeah, the magic has been dispelled. Well, I didn't like show like the behind the scenes of like, this is my microphone, this is that, you know. Professor Cannaday's Public Speaking 101. Well, I think we've devolved into just being silly at this point. So I guess I'm going to wrap this thing up. Thanks, everybody, for joining me here. It's been a lot of fun, and I was definitely answering a ton of your questions was fun. There was so many questions I didn't get to. But always feel free to hit me up on whatever. I'm always fine to answer questions on other social media and stuff like that. But do note, if you don't see me in videos, I'm always here behind the scenes, making things happen, editing stuff up, running the live streams. I always find it hilarious when I like jump into chat and I'm like, hey, how's everybody doing? Everybody's like, oh, Roy's here. I'm like, I run this thing. But it's a lot of fun. But yeah, thanks everybody. Thanks everybody who's always in chat. You guys are the best. I love the community we have here at the Dice Tower, and it's awesome to have tons of like-minded board gamers come in and talk about games and just have a good time. Make sure to hit up Mike and Z and Chris's all Q&As today. They're going to be a lot of fun. Make sure to give them just as much grief as you gave me. But it's been a lot of fun. You guys are awesome. And I'll get back to editing things. I'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.